Hello, and welcome back to the original Larry D's Food for Thought. Today we will be reading, of course, out of the Old King James Bible. Excuse me. And we will also be going over some scriptures today concerning the title, What is Love According to the Bible? What is love according to the Bible? Now, we're going to take a look at this and see what the Bible has to say about love, okay? Now, we all know that the Lord had told us to love thy neighbor as thyself. We went over that in the past in one of the brief lessons, and if we did that, I mean, if the whole world would make a change and say, "Hey, I'm gonna love my neighbor as myself, and I'm not gonna do myself any harm, so therefore I won't do my neighbor any harm." Can you imagine what this world would be like? I mean, it would be a wonderful world to live in, wouldn't it? Okay. But excuse me, it is not so. I mean, we look around every day, man. You can even turn on the TV, turn on the news, you see what people are killing, stealing, and hurting somebody. Even movies, man. You pull up a movie, you want to try and enjoy that. And what it's all about. Somebody killing, somebody stealing, somebody always trying to hurt somebody. And it's just being promoted. So the more it's promoted, the more people watch it for their entertainment, it's going to continue to happen. But I'm going to stop sharing. I'm sorry about that. I meant to share these scriptures. Let me share them right quick with you. And you can jot them down right quick if you like. But yeah, we're going to go over these and see what the Bible has to say about love, and everything, and see if we can get a little bit of understanding and everything. But yeah, if the world could do that, it would be a utopia. I'm telling you. Yep. So I hope you had a chance to just jot them down, or either if not, you can write them down as we go over. But we're going to go ahead and get started with this. And we're going to start this in Romans, the 13th chapter. And we're going to start reading at verse 8. And it reads, "Owe no man anything but to love one another. For he that loveth another has fulfilled the law." What law? The law of the commandments. Okay? The royal law. That's what he has, excuse me, fulfilled. Verse 10. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law, fulfilling of the royal law. If you love that neighbor as thyself, not going to do him any harm. You're not going to steal from him. You're not going to kill him. You're not going to lie on him. Not going to do any of those things. Okay? But love worketh no ill towards his neighbor. Let's run over here right quick to Matthew's, the 22nd chapter. Take a quick look at something here. Matthew's 22 and 36. I believe we're going to start reading. Let's see. Matthew's 22 and 36. And it reads, it was a Pharisee that came to the Lord, and he was actually trying to tempt the Lord, okay? But this is what he was saying. Verse 36, and it reads, "Master, which is the great commandment in the law?" And Jesus said unto him, "Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind." Verse 38, "This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself." Okay. Now, verse 40, "On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets." So all the commandments hang on there. I've heard people say, well, that's 600 some odd laws, LD. How can we keep them all? What the Lord just say right here? He said, on these two commandments hang all the law. And and the prophets. So if you love your neighbor as yourself, you're not going to do him any harm, not going to do him any hurt. And the first is to love the Lord with all your heart. Why? Because he loved us first. Okay. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Okay. So let's move over here. I want to go over here to the commandments right quick. And I just want to read a few out of here. The Lord was telling you how you should treat him and how you should treat your neighbor. Okay. Exodus 20th chapter, and we're going to start reading at verse 3. And it reads, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me." Okay. And people got all kinds of gods, man. I mean, there's a batch of gods out here. A lot of people are serving them. But Lord told us right here, don't have no other gods before him. He should be your first love. Okay. Now, verse 4. "Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me." You think of some people that don't hate the Lord? Telling you, man, he just said it right here. A lot of people hate the Lord. They don't want to do what he say. They do not want to love thy neighbor. Okay? They want to do what they want to do. Verse 6, "And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments." If you love the Lord, you're going to keep his commandments. You keep his commandments, that one right there uh, that hangs on all the law, and love thy neighbor as thyself, man, you do well. Because, I mean, just think about it. If everybody did this, love thy neighbor as thyself, we wouldn't have to walk in fear of somebody doing something to us. I mean, you can lay down at night and sleep in peace, wake up in the morning feeling great, but that is just the way it is. Okay. So let's move on a little further. Let's go over here to First John. Turn back over here to the new book, to First John. Excuse me. And we're going to go to start reading on over here, First John, the 4th chapter. And we're going to start reading at verse 11. And it reads, "Beloved, if God so loved us, we ought also to love one another. The Lord loved us. We should indeed love him and keep his commandments." Okay. Verse 17. "Herein is our love made perfect." Ain't that something? Our love made perfect, that we may love boldness. We may have boldness in the day of judgment, because as he is, so are we in this world. There is no fear in love, okay? But perfect love casteth out fear, because fear has torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love. We love him because he first loved us. The Lord first loved us, man. He so loved us, even that he gave his only begotten son, man, came and died for us that we may have everlasting life. Okay. Verse 20. "If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar." Okay. You hear people say all the time, man, I love the Lord. I love the Lord. Well, what about your neighbor? What about your brother or your sister? How can you say you love the Lord, but then you turn around and you curse your brother or your sister out? Okay? That ought not to be. You are a liar. You say you love the Lord and don't love your brother. For he that loveth not his brother, whom he has seen, how can he love God whom he has not seen? You have never seen the Lord, but yet you say you love him, and you see your brother every day. And you say you love him, but you know you don't. If you're going to love indeed. I mean, if I'm sick and I can barely get around and I need a prescription filled from the pharmacy somewhere down, maybe at Walgreens, and I say, hey, man, I call you up. Hey, brother, you got time to go pick up my prescription and bring it to me? Oh, no, man, I really don't have time. Oh, and then he turn around and tell his next friend, like, man, I ain't got time to go do that, man. I got stuff I got to do. That's not showing love indeed, you know? Okay. But let's move on a little bit further. And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth God love his brother also. So if you love God, you should love your brother as well. Okay. Now, excuse me. Let's look at First John, the fifth chapter, verse 1. And it reads, whosoever believeth that Jesus is the Christ, if you believe that he is the anointed one, is born of God. And everyone that loveth him that begot loveth him also that is begotten of him. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments. So if you love the Lord, you will keep his commandment. That is the fulfilling of the law, the commandments, the royal law. Verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Okay? What is wrong with thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor? What is wrong with that? Okay? Commandments, they're not grievous, you know. Do what the Lord say. Read them. We read them. We read them all the time. They're embedded in our minds, you know. And you read them, Lord tell you to. Read them, put them in your mind, put them around your neck, just to think on them, man, all the time, man. And you walk day by day, man. You will not do anything to your brother to harm him, but you will love him, man. That is love, the fulfilling of the commandments, the fulfilling of the law. Okay, so let's run over here right quick to Proverbs. Take a quick look at something over here. I think I got one verse over here we want to read. Proverbs, the 8th chapter, and I'm gonna read verse, what is it, 17, and it reads, I love them that love me, and those that seek me early shall find me. The Lord say, I love them that love me. Okay? So if you love the Lord and keep his commandments, the fulfilling of the law, he love you. Okay? So let's go back over here one more time. I'll just take a quick look at this right here. First John again. And this time I'm going to First John 4th chapter. And I want to start reading at verse 7. And it reads, Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone that loveth is born of God and knoweth God. So if you love him, you know him, and he know you. Okay. Verse 8. He that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. God is love, man. And that is what he's trying to instill in our hearts, even in our minds, to love one another. Okay. This place would be a utopia if everybody would do that. But, however, we see how the world is. But if we do these things, we do well, and we will have a pretty good chance of having that eternal life, you know. But just love one another. You're gonna run through some things. You're gonna have some people, because Satan is out there. He's running rapid. Okay, and he's putting bad, evil thoughts in people's mind and try and treat you bad. But hey, don't render evil for evil. Okay, hey, I always say it, man. Hit you, turn the other cheek. You know, but let us love one another. Okay, and that is love according to the Bible. Okay. So let us keep these things in mind. And with that, food for thought, let's think on these scriptures throughout the course of the day in these words. And until next time, peace.